You're watching Two Pricks at the Ashes, so stop wasting your time.
Two Pricks at the Ashes, Two Pricks at Adelaide Oval. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go.
Welcome on a day when Kevin Peterson stole the headlines from Kevin Peterson.
Extremely beat Swanny.
Sorry?
Extremely beat Swanny. Because I've put a swear word in there, but obviously I can't put a swear word in there.
You can swear.
Yeah, but you've got media on you, so that means you're broadcasting to the world.
Kevin Peterson, 227, highest test score in the morning, smashes your bowlers about a bit, and then just when it looks like Australia are going to get to the close with Hussey and Clark still at the wicket, rips one out the rough, catch it, gets Clark to middle it to cook at short leg. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel? Do you know what? My memory of today of KP isn't going to be starting the day with an amazing cover drive and ending the day with an arsey wicket. It's going to be when he made his top score in Test cricket and he raised his bat to the crowd. I don't know, for me that just seemed like such an odd thing to do. And everything else he's done today, I wasn't watching.
What about his celebration? Charging down the wicket like...
He gave in another one of these. How did he go, sir? People love it when you make a fist. There we go.
The star of the Kevin Peterson show. Before the wicket had even been given, Peterson down the wicket, hugging, shouting.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? Maybe that's a batsman thing, but he never really looked back at Hill. I think everyone assumed he'd got the wicket from his reaction before we noticed that Hill hadn't given it out yet.
Although, to be fair, looking at the replays, it's pretty much fair enough.
Smashed it!
Smashed it. And would you like to tell us what Michael Clark's just done?
Well, I mean, for those who've seen, obviously, when he was batting, he didn't walk. He started to walk, stopped walking, and waited for the umpire to refer it. For England to refer it. And he's just gone on Twitter and he's apologised to... there was talk in the press room of who he apologised to, whether it was to God, to the public, to Twitter. We don't know, but he's apologised for not walking, which is maybe the saddest thing I've ever read.
You see, some people might say that shows that the Australian cricketers are soft. Some people might say that's a very honourable thing to do. Where do you stand on that?
Soft.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think going out in the last over before before stumps to a part-time bowler when the new ball's going to be taken first over the next morning, starting to walk and stopping, then apologising for it, shows to me that he doesn't have the mental toughness to captain a Test side, because it's only going to get tougher for him from this point on in his career. This is the easy days, because he now knows how to bat, so it's the easy days for him in that sense. It's only going to get tougher when he has to captain Dougie Bollinger.
I love the fact that when it gets tough, I love that.
We absolutely love KP. It's turning square out there. It's impossible to bat.
If they can't get you going, then nothing will get you going.
Everyone lining up for catch. In other words, we're rooted. We're rooted. We need a miracle. If they pick me, the selectors have got no idea. If they pick me, we're half a chance. And the boys? If I don't play in Perth and Melbourne, there's something wrong.
Four wickets for the day, England tour, and if it wasn't for the arsey one at the end, it would have been 3. How do you feel?
I feel fine, Jared. England bowled pretty well today, without luck in the morning. Swan bowled was very unlucky all day. Got 2 very crucial wickets though. Stephen Finn bowled excellently, bowled one of his very good spells as opposed to one of some of his more inconsistent spells. Broad's obviously gone off injured. Before that he was very tight. The one slight surprise was Jimmy Anderson. Australia's openers really set about him in the morning. He went for 7 fours before lunch compared to 6 in the whole of Australia's first innings. Anything full, Katic was on, a couple of nice straight drives. I think Simon Katic epitomised how Australia came out today. He was on one leg and it was an incredibly gutsy innings, only ended by a very good bit of bowling from Graham Swan.
Does it not worry you though that they bowled well and still looked toothless? Because they did look toothless for main parts of that day. Which is exactly, there were times when Harrison Siddle bowled well for Australia and we easily could have got a wicket, didn't have the luck.
No, Jared, I think you've got to be realistic. This is Test cricket. You're betting against good batsmen, bowling against good batsmen on what's still an extremely good wicket out there. A wicket that England just scored over 600 for only 5 wickets on.
Isn't that amazing though, that when Australia was doing this, their bowlers were toothless, but when England were doing it, they were just in the game.
No, not at all, because Ryan Harris bowled extremely well on this yesterday.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
Yeah, but Ryan Harris was the only one.
Siddle bowled some good spells as well.
Well, in reality, Australia are sitting over there 238 for 4, and England are in 600 for 5. So that shows you that England have bowled better on this pitch.
I would say that Finn bowled one good spell.
Finn did bowl one very good spell.
Swan bowled well all day.
Swanny.
Broad was okay. Anderson was poor. So, as far as I'm concerned, they weren't up to it today, and they were lucky to end up with 4 wickets. It should have been a 3 for 300 day.
Look at the scoreboard, Jared.
It should have been 3 for 300.
It maybe should have done, but then they probably would have knocked him over tomorrow.
I'm just saying that I don't think England's bowlers are outperforming Australia's bowlers by that much. I think both bowling attacks have had one good innings each, and they've looked, other than that, both bowling attacks have looked rather bland.
Well, maybe you look at the fielders then. The fact that England are generally being supported better by their fielders. Paul Collingwood caught an excellent catch today to get rid of Ponting. Swan's straighter ball, although he said it just didn't hit the foot marks. But
England have completely outfielded Australia in almost every way today, and it was actually noticeable when Swan got sore, when he missed that ball that he should have fielded. That was one of the first really, really sloppy things I've seen since early on at Brisbane.
Lawrence Booth, the Daily Mail. Today was all about the injustices of Test cricket. Graham Swan bowls 34 overs. Looked like Matai Muralitharan at times. Kevin Peterson comes on at the end, 8th ball, turns it into Michael Clarke. First wicket for 2.5 years. Unlucky Clarke. You batted well for 80. You ended your bad run. But that's the kind of thing that used to happen to England in the bad old days. The boots on the other foot.
Okay, so Jared, tomorrow, rain's obviously going to play a part. Forecast is cloudy in the morning with a few showers and then thunderstorm coming in, so much like today.
Yeah.
Do you have any hope for tomorrow?
Oh, look, I think Australia can draw. Whether they will or not, I have no idea. Obviously, the rain might help them. Swan's obviously the biggest deal, but that new ball, it comes 4 balls into the day. And Marcus North, who's the world's worst starter, is going to have to go up against it. If England can get 2 or 3 wickets, Swan should be able to wrap it up like that, shouldn't he? But if not, if they can get no wickets or maybe only 1 wicket, then Swan, he then becomes their only hope, really. Especially with the fact that Braun might be injured. The difficulty, I suppose the interesting subplot to the final day is how Swan handles the pressure of everyone expecting him to knock over the Australians. He hasn't handled it that well before, so it'll be very interesting. And from what I saw of Broad, I'd be very surprised if he's going to come back on. In the nets, he was padded up, he could hardly move. I don't mean padded up in batting pads, I mean actually padded up around his stomach. So it's going to be a big thing, and Swan has failed under the maximum pressure before. Generally, it's when other players have helped him that he's been at his best. So Swan versus KP for the headlines on day 5.
The Australian team?
Yeah.
I think they're knackered.
Mullally of the day time. Do you have a Mullally of the day?
I do. It's Australian captain Ricky Ponting. Got a good ball from Graham Swan, but 0 and 9 at a moment when Australia, his team, need him, is not good enough.
No, I agree with you. My Mullally of the day is Tony Hill, the umpire, who missed perhaps the most bat you could ever put on a ball onto the hit. Luckily, we have the reverse system, because otherwise Poms would be whinging about that for about 30 decades. What a ridiculous decision that was. He couldn't have smashed it anymore. Anyway, that's our Mullallies of the day. Do you have a tweet of the day?
I do. I have a final word. This is from the Dalai Lama, straight from the Dalai Lama.
You may remember him from such religions as Buddhism.
It's actually followed by Kevin Peterson and possibly Michael Clarke when you hear this. I think that ethical behaviour is another feature of the kind of inner discipline that leads to a happier existence. Good night.
England and Australia, history of failure.